Going on, guys? So I've been meaning to make like a seasonal video of sorts, and here we are. I had like 3 hours of like recording, and I was like, damn, this is a lot to watch. So I felt like no one would pretty much be interested in watching it. So here we are. Um, and I just want to give you guys a little few tips on like what I experienced, and maybe this would help someone that's new. So leveling in Black Desert is horrendous. If you're a very new player, I would honestly just do the main quest as far as you can. And have my accessories here to show you guys. These are the ones that they give you through the main quest line. But I really wouldn't worry about too much. But if you do get this far in the main quest line, like you'll get these accessories for the next season that you do and whatnot. But in general, though, you don't really need these. You don't really need to do the main quest that far. The main thing is you want to get to Valencia. So as soon as you hit this one right here, and it's like telling you to go to Valencia, you can stop. And you can trigger your seasonal character that you make for the next season to be able to skip the main quest line. And I really recently just did this, so it's fresh in my head. And you make your fresh seasonal character, you spawn somewhere around here, and you'll do the main quest line until you get to this guy. It's an old dude. He'll let you choose a crossroad, and then there's a simplified crossroad. So essentially all I did for this seasonal character was I made a character, I did the quest line to that point, I got on my Doom horse, and I got power leveled to level 56. It took probably like 15-20 minutes. And honestly, it wasn't that bad to get power leveled. If you're a brand new player, by the way, and you don't know how to get your scrolls of XP, you can go into the Pearl shop. You press loyalties, and there should be some 500% scrolls for you to use. You also have artifacts nowadays that give you like 400% XP. Each stone there, they're called Light Stone of Wind, Alert, Combat. And their minimum price on the market, they're 5 million each. Why not? 400% EXP. So you just get power leveled that much faster. And this is my gear. Pretty much one less ring. And you should have the same amount of gear as me. Just from getting power leveled to level 56 and enhancing. If you enhance properly, is what I'm saying. If you have no idea how to enhance, I would ask a guild. I would ask a guildie to show you how to enhance. Because, like, I struggled for a hot minute with BDO enhancing. And I never knew how to enhance until I talked to one of my senior players in my guild. And he was pretty much like one of those players that, like, he said he would never grind again. And he would just enhance shit in the town, pretty much. Or like he would grind like 1 hour tops a week, and then he would just spend the rest of the week like messing around with the market and like enhancing stuff, or like he would play other games. So when someone tells you to like grind 1,000,000 hours and you'll get 6 months to 700 gear score, but that takes a lot of grinding. All right. Today, I probably talk a little bit about like how to be chill and pretty much take the game casually, like me. They've definitely given out a lot of free hands out recently, and this is where we're gonna begin my guide. So I'm not sure if I was lucky or not, but I've done multiple seasonals in a row. All right, like I've gotten power level to level 56, and I just equipped my quest accessories. And it'll look something like this, I guess, while you're like naked. So it looks something like this, 70 AP, and you have like your generic noob weapon or whatever. I got power level to 56 with this shit on, and I just pretty much just made everything else. Like, I think like if you're extremely unlucky, you should have at least one pen weapon. You should have at least one pen accessory. At least. at level 56. Or maybe you're higher level, you got power level to 60 by your guildie. And that's honestly like the most efficient way to do it nowadays is to get power level to like level 60. Because like, or even 59. I think you only need 59 to complete seasonal. As you can see here, I'm level 59. And I collected every single reward in the past, and I did all the bullshit that you're supposed to do. So, again, this is what your gear should look like without grinding. Like, not even grinding anything. I didn't kill anything for this stuff. Like, you get power level to level 59, and your seasonal is pretty much done, okay? Like, it's not that hard. As far as class-wise, I chose Valkyrie. And in this video, I'll be grinding while I talk to like show you guys, you know, how good this is. There's multiple classes you can do this with. It's not just Valkyrie. I think a lot of people nowadays are recommending Succession Berserker. He can do the same thing. It's usually one of the skills that you can use while on cooldown. There's like another class like Witch. Witch, she can use Fissure Wave. It's like a 3-second cooldown skill that does like 100% crit rate, and it just one-shots these guys here. So you're not locked into Valkyrie or Guardian or Witch, but I'm just recommending you to do Valkyrie though, or Berserker. But in general though, like when you're first starting playing the game, you want to have one character that does like a bunch of the quests, so you can get inventory slots. And Valkyrie is one of the classes where she can suck up like animals and stuff, and it'll pretty much help you life skill later down the road if you do decide to quit her. But always having a character that can one-shot low-level mobs is nice to have, mainly because there is, you know, for example, in Silver Mine, it's like, I don't know, 200 million to 400 million silver per hour here, and I'm just one-shotting stuff. So I can pretty much leave this character here forever, and when I'm bored, when I graduate this character, I can just leave this character here, or I can use her as like a boss alt at like Nhifuu or something, or Kudum. I think like a priority though would probably be Nhifuu for newer players, because there's a journal that you have to do, and I'm gonna go through a to-do list as I grind, okay? So if your gear isn't looking something like this when you're level 56 or level 59, you probably aren't enhancing properly, or you probably need help, okay? So ask your guild. If your guild's dog shit and there's like 90 players offline, like you see this throughout the whole entire list, then you might be in a dead guild. So just leave that guild and look for a new one. Plenty of newbie guilds out there, okay? Keep in mind, you should be also be getting payouts in your guild. Like, even if it's a dog shit guild, for people that don't know, guilds get 10 missions per day. So, and based on the size of the guild, they get like 300 million in here, in the guild funds. And as you do missions, this number increase. And the guild master can pretty much like divvy the silver out slowly to players. So I think I was getting like 50 million per week at least, in like a dog shit life skill guild. So there's always that one player, you know, that's just grinding the whole damn time, doing every guild mission. I feel like a lot of guilds though, they have it like very wrong in terms of like payout. I think every single fucking player that's online in a guild should get tier 10. It's stupid if someone's getting like 200 million and the rest of the players are getting like tier 1 pay that's like 1 million or something. Okay? Like, I was in a guild where I did no guild missions, I did jack shit, and I was getting 50 million every so often. And then like I stopped playing for like 2 weeks because I had a family problem. They kicked me, and then I got online again after 2 weeks, and I had like 150 million in the mail, okay? Like, you should be getting some silver from your guild. And again, if you're trying to copy this, I have my character 100% locked. Here, I'll lock it. And I'm just pressing F every now and then for the buff here. There we go. Get the buff. And I got my monster damage now, and I'm killing things. Keep in mind, I don't even have the skill maxed out yet. So if you're level 60, you could probably do this a little bit quicker. And I'm using level 2 loot scroll because when I first started the game, my dumbass guild told me, like, my advice back then was to, like, collect your loot scrolls and don't use them on shitty spots. And I was a noob for a long time because of that. So I started using all my loot scrolls. Honestly, if you have more than, like, 50 loot scrolls, you should just level 2 loot scroll everywhere you go. Also, like, if you're grinding, like, the infinite potion spots, like, Blood Wolves, and, like, what is it? Renaros and Sherikons, just fucking use your, Agris there, why not? Like, a lot of times when I was playing BDO, after my infinite potion grind for the day, or like an hour or whatever, I would be burned out. Like, I didn't even want to play BDO for the rest of the day at that point. So let's see if we buff up. And this is literally all I do for seasonal. And the big thing here is that, like, I'm probably not gonna graduate this character until, like, the event is over, and I'm just gonna get, like, for example, I have, you know, 2,000 of these. That's like 200 million silver that I can just sell it for. So this spot gives me 18,000 trash with occasional timeless stone. That's 100,000 silver. Or I could use it for fail stacking, but I don't know. I'll decide later. But yeah, like, that's just kind of my little background. Like, people told me to not use loot scrolls, and now I have like 700 of them, and they're just lying around doing nothing. So, if you're at like your infinite potion spot, just use Agris. And then when you're out of Agris, I would just use level 2 loot scrolls and say fuck it, call it a day. Alright? If you're level 56, and you have like a bunch of like seasonal materials like this, and you don't know how to like enhance, you should honestly either YouTube a guide or ask a guildie to show you how to do it. I think my next video, I'll actually try to enhance some to pen, just as like an example. But if you, it's probably better, like, each person learns differently. My way of enhancing is pretty similar, but I have a few of the Natter brands, and I spent like, probably like 100, 200 bucks on BDO, maybe 300. But this was like, I'm talking like on and off playing BDO for like 9,000 hours, so I think that's money well spent back in the day. And this was like in the earlier phase of BDO. I bought like a tent or whatever that was on sale, or I would wait for like events that were like, you spend 60 bucks and you get like a 60 plus 60 bundle pack of pearls or whatever. So definitely just take the game pretty slow. And even if you do, like, end up like with a bunch of silver and you just save and you be patient, like, that's worth it in the long run, because like a lot of times in BDO, a lot of the end game stuff gets cheaper over time, and it just makes sense that it does, because like there's gonna be more end game players making more gear for you to buy off the market. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people in BDO, when you watch like a noob guide for BDO, they're like, oh, don't enhance, just freaking grind and save your money and buy upgrades, which is it's a very good point. But I would argue like it's a good 50-50 if you learn how to enhance. One of like, when I was like filthy casual in BDO to like when I like pretty much like fully realized like my potential of making silver in BDO, and I learned how to enhance and liquidate stuff. there was like this tier 1 Node War guild master, right? And he pretty much borrowed my guild master's like ult account so he could Node War with us. And he was like shot calling for us, and he was like, yeah, like he was on this ult account where like all the guy did was like he did seasonal, and then he had like the workers collecting stuff, and it was like collecting silver over time. And he literally just tapped a Tet. He made a Tet necklace out of nowhere, and he's like, yeah, you just liquidate a bunch of stuff and you just tap it, you know? And he hit a Tet necklace, which like, I know a lot of people do, but like, yeah, enhancing's bullshit sometimes, but like a majority of the time, if you're not being stupid about it, like, I think like the extreme limit of enhancing that people don't recommend is they're enhancing without backups. You know what I mean? Or like they quit the game and then they tap all their accessories, which is what I did multiple times and I regret it every time, alright? Like, I think when I was at like 2,000 hours of BDO, I was like, yo, I'm quitting this game. I'm blowing up all my shit so I don't get back online. And guess what happens? Like 6 months later down the road, I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting back on BDO. I'm gonna grind again. And I'm using freaking free gear. But yeah, definitely like a lot of this stuff like applies to people, but I feel like it's not very mainstream. So hopefully this video goes out to like, let's say you're a guild officer and you're recruiting noobs and you're like, yo, I'm fucking tired of like these noobs asking the same questions over and over again. And yeah. And nowadays, like, you don't even need to power level people unless it's like their first seasonal character or like when a season starts. So like, it literally takes like 5 to 10 minutes to power level somebody. Like, look at this. I could take someone to level 56 in like 15 minutes on this character if they're like buffed properly and they're at Polly's Forest, okay? I could take a dude to like level 59 in like an hour or maybe even 30 minutes if you pop the right scrolls at Orc Camp. Like, you blow up monsters so fast when like when you have your Elvia weapon. Like, it should be so easy to get that stuff done. And I feel like a lot of people in this game, they don't understand like how like, I don't know, like a guild should operate. I'm not sure if this is like, I'm not sure how many times I'm gonna say this, like, your guild should be doing payouts, okay? If you're not getting payouts in a guild, like, you should just leave that guild. Or if you're getting like, if you're getting less than like 50 million each payout, the guild master is probably giving you like dog shit rewards so he can pay his friends more money, or he pays himself more money because he thinks like he deserves more. Like, I think that's bullshit, because like it doesn't seem like much silver at first, but like if you look like, for example, like this guild right here that I'm in temporarily, they have 9 billion. And they'll do a payout, and that's like, I think it's like either 30% of their funds, or like you have to have 30% of their funds left over. I forgot, it's been a hot minute since I've ran a guild. But like, to give this in perspective, like I was in like a dog shit life skilling guild, right? And they had active members that would like just knock out the guild missions, and I was getting like 50 million per payout. So that's another thing that people get screwed up on. Like, it makes no sense that like if you're in a very active guild, like a medium guild or a large guild with active players, it's hard to even get a guild mission sometimes. Like, this is gonna be 0 out of 10. And like, usually it's done by like 2 people, 2 officers that like pop the mission themselves. And they pretty much get like an extra 50 million each mission while they're grinding. So like, they pretty much have dibs on it, and I don't know why people think that like those guys sniping the missions would be getting more payout when it's like they already got paid for doing the mission, you know? What else is there? So we talked about seasonal. I don't think I really like emphasized on like doing the main quests of that. The main quest sometimes it gives you a decent amount of rewards. Like I know they give you some crystals that are worth like 150 mil that you can just sell. And you know there's like the Magnus quest line that you can do that gives you like a pet and armor. There's a lot of pre-quests in BDO that are kind of annoying, and hopefully, like, the longer the game is out, the fewer quests they purge from the game. Because, like, I think, like, back in the day, like, when BDO came out, when I started playing, there were, like, literally 500 quests in, like, the beginning zone. And, like, it made you kill monsters, like, 100 monsters and shit, or, like, it'd be some rare drop. Nowadays, it's just like, you just talk to an NPC, you kill the boss, and then you're done. You know what I mean? Like, it's much easier than it was back then. As far as, like, my, like, what's it called? Input for the game? I feel like it's better if they just remove all the fucking stupid quests from the game. And it should just bring back dailies or something. I don't know. Like, getting CP through dailies is kind of fun when I was a noob. And I was, like, filthy casual at this game. But, if you don't know what contribution is, and you're new, you should probably look up a life skilling guide, but in general, though, like, I don't think people really recommend this, but, you should have 10 farms like this. Like, I'm growing sunflowers of all things. And it takes, like... It's, like, one thing you learn how to do that is gonna affect you in the long run of BDO. And learning how to, like, hire professional workers is one of them. Like, look at this. All professional workers. And they're just giving me silver over time that I can liquidate every so often. Or, like... I can process it or just sell it on the market when I need more money. And it just supplements my grind. So, like, let's say I make, like, I don't know, whatever the fuck amount of silver this is. At the end of the day, I'll still have, like, if you look at my storage here in Sylvia, when I pool it all together, 1.5 billion silver in there. Like, some people, they have even more than that, and they leave their computers on overline consistently, or like if you play for like, you know, 6 months and you leave your computer on the whole time and you're just feeding your workers every day. Nowadays it's even easier because you have like the family storage. See, like there's like 600 bird meat in there or whatever it is, and it'll just feed the workers automatically for you for a few days at a time. So like even if you're busy and like you don't have enough time to grind, like there's a lot of catch-up mechanics now. It's like in World of Warcraft, right, where you have rested experience. You pretty much you've got like bonus experience, you get double experience for a while if you weren't online for a while. And BDO is the same way, except in Black Desert they really don't care about EXP. And it's like a majority like a gear game. And yeah, that's why our rested experience isn't XP, it is just money. You get extra money for killing stuff on Agris. That's what Agris is. Hopefully this rant isn't going all over the place, but like there's so much to explain in BDO, and I just kind of want to like just zoom through it, you know. I think like another like thing you can farm in the game, like for the farming things and the fences. For example, if you don't know like how to find a farm, right? You just hit this search button over here, and you just type strong fence, and you get 10 of them for 100 CP, and it's a limit of 10 fences. I think there's like a suggested farming mission in here somewhere that gives you like 2 fences for free. So you don't even need 100 CP. You can use like 80. If you're like low on storage, I think you can just spend CP on a building. For example, I like to put a lot of shit in idle. See this? So I just bought these with silver, and it costs contribution points, or however many storages that is. But yeah, now I'm just one-shotting these guys until I'm level 60. Oops, I'm stuck. What else could I tell you guys? I could probably go through like my entire history of playing Black Desert, and I could probably like just pull out a little bit of info, and it would just help a lot of people so much, because like I would say I'm like extremely hardcore. I'm probably like the average player. And there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, I played for 6 months, and then they're like past my gear score. You know what I mean? Or they finish seasonal, and then they're past my gear score in like 6 months or something, or 3 months, and it's like, wow, that's dope. These guys are pretty sweaty, you know? Some people are just built different, man. Like, I know some people, one of my friends that I have in Discord that I still talk to, that played BDO since I first started playing, and he was in my first ever guild, and he's like one of those 600 gear score, like full pen dudes. And one of his things was that, I think he had sleep problems. So he would like literally grind all the time, and that's literally all he would do. And I think he was like a big baller stockbroker too, and he didn't like spend any money in a game because like he had so much free time, and he would just grind non-stop. Like legit, I would sleep, wake up, and I'd see him grinding still. This would probably be a good point in my explanation of probably like, you know, if you're trying to pick a class for BDO, the most geared people I've seen that are like grinding, it's usually a guardian, a witch, or a wizard. That's it. Everybody else is like, they're like sweaty grinding at like Star's End or something, and they're just not having a good time, or they'll burn out after like 15 minutes of grinding, and they're like, damn, why did I pick this class? It's so much APM. And look at me here in this video, one button grinding mobs, making more money than they are. And there we go. Getting my seasonal XP. Also, if your guild doesn't have like time to power level you to like 59, like you can AFK train your character. Like they give you a bunch of AFK books too. And back in the day, to finish seasonal, the weeklies were tougher. Like reoccurring in weekly. If you press O, you go to reoccurring. A lot of the quests were like, you had to kill like 5,000 monsters. Now it's like, you only kill like 500. It's like, okay, that's easy. If I had to recommend a spot to grind in BDO, I'm thinking like the ultimate spot. Like if you really want to metagame seasonal, it's probably Fogan's. Like this spot here, like this is like a, what's this, 190 AP spot? 210 AP spot. And I'm AP capped, but it still takes like a multiple hits to kill these guys. I'm thinking Desert Fogan's or even like Pilaku is better than this spot, because like you'll actually one-shot those guys, and it's nice to one-shot because like, and I don't have mobs chasing me if I miss them, you know? Or like, you could definitely work towards your infinite potion. I was doing a little bit of Tashira for the mana pot, and I got like 14 of these after I did the weekly. And there's like a drop event going on right now too, so I pretty much popped my loot scroll and started killing mobs. Doing this for like 30 minutes. By the way, if you're wondering, like, this is actually the main rotation of Sulfur Mine. There's not many other spots that compete with this main rotation right here. I think there's like another off rotation, but like nowadays the spot really isn't contested anymore. Same with Orcs. Like, you'd think Orc Camp would be contested, but there's like 3 different rotations, and honestly, after my Magnus grind of 1 hour at Orcs, like, I'm done with the game for a while. Like, I'd rather play, like, Path of Exile or, like, watch anime all day and just take a break. Like, I don't know. And nowadays, people, like, I think they're fighting over Giants, which is, like, one of the newer zones, and this, like, they keep releasing more. As soon as they keep releasing more, like, endgame zones. Where's the Furu? He just spawned, didn't he? It's also another one of the spots that you can park your horse at, too. Can I put my tent here? Let's repair. Oh, pay to win. $40 tent, guys. But yeah. Also, I'm going to link in this video my Steam guide. So if you need like more help and information, you're completely lost, and in that video or in that guide on Steam, like it has like 4,000 views or like 6,000 views, I think. I got like a bunch of medals and people that bookmarked it and stuff. And I feel like if you are like a guild master of like a noob guild, or you have a guild in general, and like you don't want to go through the same thing of like recruiting a noob, they ask a new question, the same question as the last noob you invited. And that's kind of what my problem was, that I got irritated with my guild. I was like, yo, like, I'm tired of like telling you guys the same thing. And usually a majority of the time it'd be like, yo, just fucking Google it, dude. Like, why do we have... Because there's so much info in BDO nowadays that is just wild. But also, like, a lot of the info in BDO, I would fact check with your guild in case, like, it's old news, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, like, 2-year-old guides for the game. Or maybe, like, even longer, honestly, like, since launch. Or, like, if you see, like, a guide that's on like a forums, it's probably like 3 years old and it's probably outdated by then. So I would definitely ask the guild first. Like, I think I need to ask around about like saleys or something for sailing content. But I'm kind of just being a lazy ass, wait until they make it easier so that I can do it. But yeah, I think like a generic like to-do list of like progression in BDO would definitely be, you do your main quest line until your eyeballs bleed out, and then you finish your seasonal, you get full tet or whatever, or you get full pen to Vala, like this, and then you choose your seasonal reward necklace that's 30 AP, and then you pretty much do Jatina weeklies until you get full pen. But nowadays though, like, I think you could do like, I think by the time you have your armor done through Jatina, you should have enough money to buy like a weapon, another weapon. Or like by the time you pen your dandelion weapon, you could probably reform or buy a main hand weapon for like 6 billion. I know there's some guys out there that are telling people to go Open Tet for Succession. Like this. So I have an Open Tet Caprice level 5. I honestly don't recommend it. Like, by the time you're 281 AP, you're gonna need accuracy. And honestly, like, once you're above, like, 265 AP, I didn't really notice, like, my damage changing as much. A lot of it was, like, having proper add-ons, getting, like, critical damage on, like, my, cup accessories, or, like, I wasn't using, like, elixirs while I was grinding. There's very little things like that. Or you can have, like, artifacts on. I'm using, like, the cheap, I think this is called the Rage Marked Frenzy and Lungs. This is the Frenzy one. And it gives me 2% all special attack damage, and it's cheap compared to the other, like, billion silver ones. So I type in Frenzy, and there's a Light Silver Frenzy, which is 250 million minimum listed. And it gives me 2% all special attack damage, which is pretty nuts. Because in BDO, a lot of the game's combat is based off of doing critical hits. And there's like a passive here that gives you critical hit rate by 18% if you max it out. So if you look at my crystals here, when I go to transfusion, I have like one critical hit thing to cap it out when I have food buffs. Because I think your gear gives you a little bit, and then your crystals give you a few too. So you just have to check. Pretty much, you press P, and if it's not maxed out when you have your food buff on, or if you have your drought on, like, I think getting that critical hit rate might be worth it. Even on some classes, like where it'll say the skill has 100% crit rate, and like once you get better at the game and you're like zooming through like 10 skills in like 3 seconds or whatever it is, and like you learn your class a little bit better, a lot of unless you're playing Guardian like has 100% crit rate on everything, I think, or it's like 60% or something. A lot of times, like a majority of what people mess up on is their add-ons are messed up. They don't have like their DP reduction on. They don't have like their what is it? They're not pre-buffing, or is something that like they didn't figure out about the class yet. For example, like I just learned that like that F skill that I just used right there, I was like, huh, this gives me 20 AP. So I put where is it? Try to find it. So for this skill, I put, it gives me 20 AP, so I put 20 monster damage on it and 20% critical hit rate. So every time when this skill is on cooldown, I'll have that 20% crit rate buff on. So as long as I use that skill off cooldown, or like, say I press F, you see I get that 20% crit rate and 20 monster damage and 20 AP. Like I'm doing that more damage to the monsters. And then, you know, using your Z buff to give you more attack speed. Not sure if you can tell the difference between it, but my character is attacking a lot faster now. I just teleport this one, get my add-on. That mob. Yeah, this is so fast though, like once you have your 100% on. And a lot of classes is kind of similar, where you just pop your 100%, and then you use like your attack speed add-on, and then you have this attack speed capped out, and then you have your Bell's Heart giving you like another 5% or whatever it is, and you're attacking really fast. Unless you're lagging. Like another thing people say is that like, I think like there's a stigma going around right now that Guardians are bad at endgame when they're not. When they have the highest crit rate and they have like a 5% critical hit damage buff that people aren't using. Like I think it's just the noobs, because like I remember some guy in my Node War guild, he was like, wait, what the fuck? People are saying Guardian sucks at PvP? There's no way, dude. And then he was pretty much a Guardian main in PvP. Like, a lot of times, like rumors in BDO, like it's usually something that will throw you off, and unless you like experiment yourself, you're never gonna know. You know what I mean? Don't just take someone's word for it and just be like, yep, call it a day. Yep, sure. Sure, Guardians suck. And then, you know, you see like them performing. Or like, especially like those tier lists. And again, you never know until you try it out yourself. Alright, let's finish one more rotation, and then that'll be the end of this video. Hopefully I'm not overloading people too much. I think I've kind of embraced this whole ranting. I feel like this is like the quickest way to do it without people losing attention, you know what I mean? And there we go. I don't know how long I was grinding for, but I got 2,000 trash. And did I store anything in my storage? So I got 2,700 trash here. I'll just sell that. Then I have all these scrolls to sell on the market. And 17 Caphras. Wow, nice. 100% drop rate event, you know? But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys learned something. I know it was like a lot of information to take in, but you know, that's BDO. My next video I'll probably be enhancing the rest of my gear. Even though I don't need it. And it'll be just for the video, you know what I mean? So alright, we'll see you guys there. Hopefully it's the skills to like part 2, part 3. But honestly, I think part 2 is just gonna be me enhancing it and graduating seasonal and calling it a day. Or I'll probably be in the... Honestly, I'm probably just gonna grind the infinite monopot, like in this area, and then maybe try Manchoms, but we'll see. But yeah, good luck out there. Good luck enhancing. If you're also tired of doing seasonal weeklies, I honestly think the best way to get materials is in Velia, where you just do rifts. Like I grinded, and you get like 2 free rifts, or like 1 rift through your seasonal pass, and you can literally start a party and be like, in the server chat and be like, you just type, Velia rifts, Velia rifts party on season 6 PM when you're here. And then, like, because, like, you can't invite people while you're in the middle of a rift, and people are, like, for some reason, spam join. And, like, one time, I made a party for rifts, and I didn't even use any of my rifts. I just kicked people that didn't have rifts, and invited a person with rifts. And, I pretty much hit full pen at that point. But currently, like, I'm actually grinding on this I'm like abusing Valkyrie one shot right now. So I have like a bunch of materials just lying around, and yeah. I think some people, if they recommend you a spot that's like higher than like Polly's Forest, I think they're kind of trolling you, because like a lot of classes don't have the damage modifiers to do it until you're like wow, I can't even port back. But what was I trying to say? But yeah, like unless you're like level 59 or 60, like your damage isn't gonna be there yet to one-shot some of these things. Like for example, I'm level 59 here, and my one-shot skill isn't even maxed yet. It has 1 more to go, and the 4th skill, it gives you like a bigger chunk of damage. Like that's like double my damage right there. Like 900% to like 1,400%. Like not including criticals. But yeah. Alright, I'll see you guys around. I'm gonna run to Valencia and record part 2, because I'm lazy and I don't like editing videos. Alright, see y'all around.